I'm going to say what's real. You might like it, you might not, I don't care. People from out of town is coming, like they might come from Charlotte. Charlotte might have a good path and doing this, that, and other. You should have stayed in Charlotte. It was fine before you got here. You came to us. We didn't come to you. It's not like African Americans is going to use this path. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going down there. I'm not going to send my grandbaby down there. Black people don't do stuff like that. Some might not. Most of them not.
Now, I've heard this said, and Charlene, has said it again tonight, that black people don't do this. And I really want to push back on it because, again, informed by the 12 years experience, we know differently.
Next up, Bacoate Trail easement. Dr. Furman has some updates and other things for us.
Yes, thank you. So when we had this on the agenda several months ago, the board was not ready to take a vote because of some continued questions and curiosity about our community input and hearing directly from the residents on Charles and Timothy Street. I went out to the community and met directly with the residents, Timothy and Charles Street, hearing directly from them. They have sent an updated letter to the board, and Mike from Asheville Unpaved also is able to join me and hear directly from the residents as well. He's taken some of their feedback and has addressed some of that. But I think there's still several things that the residents have some questions about, and they've also prepared an updated proposal for the branch to find some place in the middle so we can hear from the residents on what their proposal was, and then we'll have Mike come up and share his updates.
Hello, I know everybody remember me. I'm Charlene Mayfield. So we met with Dr. Maggie and Mike with Unpaved, but some more of our concerns is the unpaved path that is not maintained by the city is dangerous playing and is harmful to residents, bikers, tourists, especially the children that they swear that it's going to be for. To trust an organization who chose not to connect with the residents surrounding this idea is reckless, and it speaks to the city schools also ignoring the community. It also stands today that there are needles around the path. We don't know who's going to manage the trail. We have photos if you would like to see needles, paraphernalias, anything that people could use for drugs, sexual, or whatever. We have pictures if you would like to see that, and it's on the so-called path that the unpaved is supposed to do. The path that someone has cleared at the beginning and where's the trail is supposed to start. So somebody had already put a path and trying to already make a path so it can just be cleared even more. And we're wondering who approved the path. What else has been okayed without asking permission or going through proper channels to make the change? Even though we're up here talking and telling you the issue and what's going on with it, and like I told Dr. Maggie and James when they came, even Mike, I'm gonna say what's real. You might like it, you might not, I don't care. But it's like people from out of town is coming, like they might come from Charlotte. Charlotte might have a good path and doing this, that, and other. You should have stayed in Charlotte. Don't bring it to Asheville. We didn't ask for it. It was fine before you got here. You came to us. We didn't come to you. It's not like African Americans is going to use this path. I'm going to be honest. We're not going to use it. Like I told them in the meeting, I'm not going down there. I'm not going to send my grandbaby down there, or who else. Black people don't do stuff like that. Some might not. Most of them not. It's like y'all are people are trying to push people out of neighborhoods. This used to be a whole predominantly black neighborhood, and I'm okay with change. Some change is good, some change is not. This paved and unpaved in the woods is not a good idea. Since it's supposed to be for the kids, let them be able to go out the gate, which is locked. They can go around the area that's should be safer versus in the actually woods, and come back and put the bikes up. Somebody said, might have been Mike, we can't store the bikes or whatever. If it's for the kids have bikes they can store at school. So I don't think it's fair. Y'all really need to think about it. It's not something that should be done. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Israel Mayfield. I am a resident off of Timothy Street. And I, too, am an Asheville High graduate, long enough to say that I have watched the neighborhood change over the years. And as Charlene was saying, some change is good. I've watched, I was there when Asheville Middle School went through their dynamic change, and the congestion that it brought on the road itself. And we made it through. After a couple of years, we made it through. And watching the children out there, how they grow, and I mean, you just saw a presentation of how they can flourish, right? So it starts somewhere. And Asheville Middle School is a great place to be for that. Now, the issue with that is, as we grow and as we change, we've got to be really careful about how we go about this. The middle ground that we're talking about this with this map seems to be a lot more, it's more doable than where we have it now. Because I have also seen the neighborhood behind me change as well. When it comes to the housing authority, when it comes to the back end of the housing authority, when it comes to Aston Park, when it comes to the YWCA, all of that parts of the neighborhood, they have changed. And not all of it has been for the better. Overall, it has been, yes, but not all of it's been for the better. I can sit on my porch and watch at any given time of the day, people going up and down the road into the woods, you know, and they're not well. And this is the area where we are proposing to put a greenway. We have no idea really of how we're going to police that. We have no idea of the people who are going to go in there, whether they will be outsiders, or children. The ones that may go in there that may not even realize that there is a sharp on the ground, underneath brush, or around the trees. We don't know who's going to be behind there. If we're going to talk about the safety of the children, and we're also talking about education of the children, let's keep it right there at the school. Because this is a learning facility. This is in the greenway that we're talking about is an extension of that. But it doesn't necessarily need to come out to a place where we really don't have any means to police it, to continue to beautify it, and make it enjoyable for the children, the residents, and the neighbors. I do apologize for being a little emotional about this, but as we watch it grow, let's do this responsibly. You know, let's take another moment. Please take a moment to think about exactly what we're doing to our community. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Mike Sewell. I'm the Executive Director of Asheville on Bike. Yes, I did say that access to the schools, children, is a part of the project, but not the entire project. and I will reiterate over and over and over and over and over again that these trails are not just mountain bike trails, they're not just bicycle trails. These are multi-use trails designed for a variety of uses, whether that's hiking, whether that's walking, whether that's nature journaling, bird watching, bench sitting, all the types of uses that you currently see on greenways and trails throughout Western North Carolina and our city. This system is designed to accommodate those. One of the reasons that we're so excited about it, and we feel that this is an important project, is we call it reducing the distance to dirt. Because access to the natural world for many of our residents often requires an automobile and a tremendous amount of free time. And we did some work on estimated to the time that it takes to get into a trail system. And that can range from 18 minutes to 41 minutes to 39 minutes. And we know after 12 years of programming at our after-school program is that, now I've heard this said, and Charlene, has said it again tonight, that black people don't do this. And I really want to push back on it because, again, informed by the 12 years experience, we know differently. I'm going to push back on some of the concerns that the 9 residents of Charles Street have talked about. To say that there has not been robust and reasonable public engagement is not accurate. Now, public engagement does not assume that people are going to agree that there will be consensus. It's clear that these residents, these 9 residents, do not want this trail behind their backyard. But to say that the work has not been done does not comport with the record. And yes, I don't dispute the high drug activity and the location of encampments, but I do take issue that it is just sheer optimism that to assume that if we don't redesign and reconfigure and open this space up, that the current existing conditions are just going to continue. Because it's unsafe now does not mean that it has to be in the future as well. The use can change. And we know this from a variety of greenways that have already been built. Hominy Creek Natural Surface Greenways, the French Broad River West Greenway, that's from the Riverlink Bridge to the dog park. That had a lot of the nefarious conditions that are currently going on behind the school. Not so much anymore. The Wilmot-Dykeman Greenway, the Reed Creek Greenway, the Karen-Cagnolia Park Greenway, even the Bowcatcher Greenway in the Rough, which is an old logging road. Because people have been there and they get activated and they use the space and they come out and they take care of it, the nefarious uses move. Now, we are not going to cure the drug epidemic. This trail is not going to cure the homeless epidemic. But are the current conditions the highest and best use of a school and public facility? And there would be a record of greenways and trails failing all over our city. Would our community continue to invest in greenways, trails, and green spaces if they resulted in unsafe, dangerous conditions? There's no record of it. And would our public continue to prioritize investment in greenways, trails, and green spaces if they were a threat to people's safety and health? This image right here is taken directly from Asheville Parks and Recreation public survey on their comprehensive plan. I know it's kind of hard to read, but right at the top of the list, multi-use paved trails. Right behind it, multi-use unpaved trails. And then as we go down this list, we can see how Asheville Unpaved connects with each one of these other things. Shaded play spaces, outdoor exercise and fitness area. It all relates. This is what our community is asking for. This is what we have been investing in. And it continues to work. The 9 residents of Charles Street, strongly object to any access proposed to the trail between the Asheville School and the property of Ashton Park. And the concern that they have lined out is more vehicles on Charles Street, and that would create an untenable situation. Increased traffic on Timothy Street. Now, my work is very focused on creating active modes to reduce the mode share or change the mode share. So we are aligned on this. The trail system does not have access points between Ashton Park and the school. The trailhead, as proposed, is at Ashton Park and at Little Big Lane down in the River Arch District across the street from. There is not trailhead access on Charles Street. Additionally, this trail is designed and built. There are 14 transit stops in proximity to this trail. There is greenway connectivity into this trail. There are bicycle connectivity via South French Broad and Hilliard and Clingman onto this trail. There's also a dense population of people who are moving in, and it's more walkable, it's more bikeable, you can use transit. It does not demand that you drive in order to use this facility. Now, will some people? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, some people will. And that is specifically why the trailhead at Ashton Park, where there is current existing public parking, that would be a place to access it. Additionally, in the River Arch District, there is a variety of public parking that people could use to access this trail system. It's not going to impact, as currently designed, it will not impact traffic flow on Timothy or Charles Street. This is the part that's really hard for me to wrap my head around. The forested area should be preserved regardless of the safety access issues we have identified up above. So Bacoate Branch should be preserved for encampments, abandoned trash, and drug activity, referenced in the safety paragraph of their letter of opposition? No, but I do agree that it absolutely is valuable green space. So let's open it up to the public and continue to invest in the systems that we know work. Lastly, I gotta pull up my phone because I really wanted to get this. In your file that I sent you today too, there's a letter of support from the Executive Director of Color My Outdoors, Simone Adams. And one of the things that she does is she does push against this notion that these systems, these trails, nature is not for Black people or people of color. And so I just want to read her most compelling quote. The project not only returns green space to the community, but it also creates educational opportunities for Asheville Middle School students. Outdoor learning can significantly enhance student achievement by increasing motivation, engagement, and academic performance. Research indicates that outdoor learning can improve students' academic performance by providing dynamic and sensory learning opportunities that increase curiosity and enthusiasm. And she has the reference there from periodical Children in Nature Network from 2013. The project poses the potential bridge the student achievement gap for Black, Hispanic, and mixed-use race students, which is a significant issue in Asheville City Schools. We also believe that sparking a child's curiosity about nature and the outdoors is critical to their understanding of accountability for environmental and conservation concerns. So if we want to cultivate appreciation for the natural world, we've got to get our students into the natural world. That was the last of my presentation, but I do want to address a couple quick points. The 15-foot easement is a construction easement specifically to negotiate around established trees. We're not creating green spaces by cutting down established trees. That's the antithesis of what we're trying to accomplish. So the 15-foot easement allows, during the construction phase, for the trail designer to move around and orient the trail as to not do cutting down trees and so forth. That's the whole point of it. The trail system as it's designed is much like the width of your standard sidewalk, 5 to 6 feet in length. That's width, excuse me. That's what we're talking about. And so with that, I guess I'm done. Thank you.
All right. So with that updated information, board will place this on the agenda for a vote at next Monday's meeting.
Okay, thank you.